works. Not refraction. Whatever her passive is.
Melt.
Not melt. We're talking about Spectre right now, Mike.
Oh, you mean Desolate?
No. Good lord. Dispersion.
Dispersion.
Good try, though. You just really went the full circle, huh?
You mean Axe's Call?
I mean, you're not an offlaner, so I will tell you, Slardar owns Spectre.
Yes,
And like it is actually, you destroy that hero.
I see, I see.
So I'm kind of okay with the Slardar pick. I'm actually kind of down with it. I don't think it's too bad. I'm more questioning of the Axe pick for the Pango, because that hero, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen an Axe that looked good. And this is going to be an Axe that is matched up against the Razor. Obviously, he's going to be doing the creep cutting shenanigans. He's got the double stout shield, so it's not just like a one-to-one terrible lane. But it's probably still going to be annoying. There's still going to be some problems. He's still going to get hunted down every once in a while. Walk away with 3 bounties for Mineski.
Yeah, last time they got 4 and they got absolutely destroyed.
That's true. They're one short of the bounty Exodia and still horrifically lost. So they're gonna look back on game 1, which is the one they won, which was a pretty messy game and full of aggressive action. And that is something about Mineski's lineup, right? There is pretty much no cooldown. The longest cooldown they have is like Echo Slam. But all 3 of their cores can non-stop fight.
Yeah. So you're not as big of a fan of this Spectre, since you think that whatchamacallit owns him?
I think the Spectre's gonna have a little bit of a tough time.
You deserve nothing.
He is nice against a lot of these heroes, though. Like the Earthshaker.
Yeah.
Being able to get on top of him. Playing ES against a lot of these global heroes just kind of feels bad. As Iceberg's getting a little bit low. He's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to get double side-plated and just die. It's both mid laners going to pop that salve. Last time Iceberg got the best of Moon in that Lina versus Puck matchup, of course. Is Ghostic just going to opt to skip this entirely? And I like what he's doing here, especially against the Razor. Mid lane, Iceberg gets blocked out.
From Febby, that won't result in a kill, but Febby can still kind of force Iceberg.
He's got boots
all the way around. Yeah, I guess he'll just be able to keep right-clicking him for a little while. The creep wave is going to push into the tower, and this Iceberg will not actually be able to go for that, but maybe they can turn around on Febby as now. Vampire's here, the roll-in is not going to land. Febby is
he's wasting a lot of time.
And he's going to be able to Fisher Iceberg, just keeping him out. He's thinking about trying to go for the kill. He is going to try for it, but it's not going to happen. Ninja Boogie's going to come in and clean up Iceberg. No, the Fairy Fire is actually going to keep him alive, but still, I almost think that him surviving is somehow bad for Iceberg because he can't go to lane. Especially not with this haste rune now picked up by Ninja Boogie.
And Ninja Boogie has Glimpse level 1, so...
Yeah, why does he have Glimpse?
You might actually just get the Courier here.
What?
Okay.
Why does he have Glimpse?
Maybe he was trying to do it so when the Axe pulled and he tried to go for that TP play when he got low. I don't know.
Weird.
I feel like that's a little bit game ruining for himself.
Yeah, like if he has Thunderstrike, he does a lot of harassment damage to the Axe and his life becomes significantly harder.
Yeah. So I think the reasoning was like, if Ajit gets to do this and Ghostic tries to TP out, he would get the kill on him.
Yeah, I guess so.
But Ajit sort of just killed him by himself.
Just kind of ran him down.
Just sort of right-clicked him a bunch and suddenly Ghostic was dead.
This is the trade-off for all of these offlaners, though. They cut the creep wave, but they understand the risk. Sometimes the carry's going to run back and kill you. But it does mean the carry misses out on some CS at that time. And you are still sitting at 22-0 for the CS of the Axe. He is top of the board right now because of this kind of plays. He managed to have the bash already set up, gets a lot of damage onto Slayer, but a telekinesis to the other side of the Fissure will prevent anything further. Ghosted, trying to get body blocked in, glimpse back into the waiting arms of the Razor, and they should be able to bring him down pretty easily. And this is where, I mean, I have to wonder, why is Ghostic cutting the creep wave there? Every single time that we see the offlaner get punished
Way
once
further.
for that,
Yeah.
what they immediately do is they rectify and they go and they cut behind the tier 2.
Yeah.
And
Just
say,
go way further behind.
yeah, if you want to run all the way back that far as the carry, then go for it. But
You're effectively giving up like 2 lanes, is usually the trade-off.
I feel like this is some unnecessary errors here from the Pango. Mid lane is going very well for the Templar Assassin. 23 and 12. Top lane's going pretty well for the Slardar. Not quite the same CS as the Spectre has, but still seems to be getting pretty good farm and trying to pressure the Spectre. It's going to get particularly hard, I think, once you get level 5, level 6. You get the Bash of the Deep that does 175 extra damage, and then you get the Corrosive Haze shortly thereafter. That is not a lane the Spectres want to stay in. Meanwhile, the Lina is 16 and 1. That is rough.
I mean, it's that little bit of advantage that Febby gave him in that mid lane. Like, even though you get first blood there, he had to use 2 Dragon Slaves, and he got zoned out of XP for like a full, what, like 30 seconds, you'd say? And he got XP for a level 1 Earthshaker. This just ends up kind of snowballing really hard now for the TA.
Seems like everything's kind of snowballing for Mineski right now, who are currently 2,000 net worth up at 5.5 minutes in. I would say every single one of their lanes is going well.
Yeah, you see what Moon's doing too. He's trying to kill the creep wave alive as Febby's going to run into Iceberg here, who gets him dangerously low, but by keeping the creep wave alive, he was able to keep the catapult going for quite some time, so it's going to deal quite a bit of damage to that mid tower as Ajit and Ninja Boogie, they're going to go on a Ghost Stick. They've got full vision of him with the Thunder Strike. This should be another kill. This is so much damage that he's got stolen up. And they might even harass the tower a little bit with that damage that they were able to take.
Yeah, that's even worse, right? It's like the Razor, when he's able to turn that damage into an objective.
Yeah, and Rubik going to pick up the Haste Rune. Understands that Ninja Boogie was quite close here. Slayer just got a free kill here. Ninja Boogie
now, Ninja Boogie needs to run back to the safety of the Razor. He will be okay for now.
Meanwhile, Slaughter out CSing. And they're going to win all 3 lanes.
What I really don't like about Axes in this situation is that, like, they cut the creep wave and they get themselves some farm, but when they die repeatedly to the carry, it's like they're this great big piggy bank.
Yeah.
You just feed a bunch of experience and gold to
If you're like this level 3 Axe and you die, you don't really feel bad, but you're a level 5 Axe with 38 CS. Like, every single time that you're dying, you see it already reflected in the fact that Ninja Boogie's level 4, despite him not really moving around the map too much, and even getting caught out, like when he did in the river by the Rubik. Like, he's wasted quite a bit of time, but he's still level 4 because he's setting for kills on this Axis. Nice fissure by
Not quite going to be enough here. That's going to be the Spectre ultimate being used. Nice use of the dagger to be able to slow down Ninja Boogie, and then he hops over to mid to join the rest of his team fight. But Ajit, he's just too strong, it looks like. They can't actually fight into this Razor, and now maybe his decision of bouncing away from that Disruptor is going to play against him as he almost dies. Fortunately, going to be saved by the Earth Spirit, who is going to be able to get the quick slow down. Nice Fisher block, but Ajit is actually down to turn around and just beat Ghostic to death with his electric whip. It's a trap indeed. Moon and the rest of Mineski rolling over the Pango. Managed to take that mid-tier 1 tower. Now sitting at a 4,000 gold advantage.
He's just cutting the wave because he's saying like, okay, this is exactly what you want to do when people leave your lane. Protect your creep wave, get the next wave going in. This is what allows you to pressure the tower really hard. The best part about all of this for Mineski is they don't really have to commit too much to taking down these towers as Moon. A little bit trapped out, Iceberg. There's 4 heroes here. Febby does have a stun soon under the river, but not really sure how much this is going to do here. Do they have detection? No, he's just going to sit here.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a lot of wasted time for the Pango.
Yeah, and And he's just here. They're going to take top towers. Moon's going to recycle through some of this. He does have a refraction, but unable to get it off in time. But that was like 30 seconds of time wasted. They're probably going to lose the tier 1 tower up at top uncontested. You're giving Disruptor free levels at bottom. Now everyone has to completely disperse out to get any sort of farm. KP takes it to free tier 1. Not the worst death in the world as a trade, as during that time, even killing the TA, they rack up their lead up to 5,000 gold in 9 minutes.
I think KP's build, by the way, is kind of cool. It's a very dominant build. For the laning phase, he went phase boots on Slardar. And because right now the build is always you go this 1-1-3 and then you're going to max out sprint afterwards. So most people don't, like, they think they don't need phase boots, right? Because you already get the phase from sprint itself, and obviously you move very quickly. But just being able to have the phase boots for like that 2 or 3 minute window against the Spectre, I don't know how you could possibly lane against that. And
yeah, the Spec's just about to get boots too.
Yeah.
It's just all these little things. They're so far behind, they can't really afford detection. So getting that TA kill takes them just a little bit too long.
I thought maybe he was going to go hand to Midas with the way that KP was like kind of so far up already. Did not have the bash prepped up, so it doesn't go for the attempted kill on the Earth Spirit. Meanwhile, we hop over to bottom lane where Moon is going to take that tower for free. As we can see, the rest of the Pango are just kind of, I don't know, kind of wandering around mid. Not really sure what to do, what plays to make.
Yeah, the upside is like the Axe isn't that incredibly underfarmed, as Haunt's going to get popped here. They want to get Ninja Boogie. They're pretty hard committing for this, as he should die here, is going to get popped by the ulti. So they want to continue to go for this. Febby, only level 4, and Iceberg is hasted up. The roll is going to connect to another Dragon Slave. Should do the job, as they are going to get a double kill on the Iceberg. But Moon going to go for the TP out Ghost Stick, getting a little bit closer. He's going to just skip this wave. So like you said, the downside is every single time he dies like this, when he cuts the wave, he's just feeding up a ton of XP. And KP has just kind of had a free time up at top. He's getting a bunch of different items at once.
Yeah, what the hell is KP?
I have no idea.
He really could not decide what he wanted to go.
Look at the
it was
heat map.
Midas, then it was Vlad's, now it's going to be Blink Dagger.
Just, it's like the sampler build. Get a little bit of everything. Also, Ajit, despite the fact that they lost last game, has had a very good series.
Yeah.
As the Jug, he was the most farmed hero in the game. As the Razor in this one, he is so ahead of the pack.
I mean, Blitz, you always tell me that, like, being able to get kills and not take objectives kind of feels like the kills didn't mean anything. Those last 2 kills for the Pango, they still lost their offlane tower, and mid and top were so pushed in, they could not stick around at this bottom lane. And
they might get Febby here, who still kind of dangerously sticking around. He's pinging.
I don't know.
Though.
If I'm Mineski, don't you defend this? You're so much stronger than Pango.
It's more like, if you're the Pango, they're so much stronger than you, do you stick around to fight? And the answer is no, as the Razor's about to pick up his Rod of Atos. Finally, KP commits to an item build, as they're going to run into the Disruptor here. The what? That is a glimpse. You saw the hit follow from the TA?
Yeah.
Like, did a U-turn.
It's like a boomerang. The Blink Dagger first for the Templar Assassin. When you've got, I think, such a dominant start to this game, kind of feels like...
Oh, he's going back for the Midas now. Okay, so he's got the casual mask.
I mean, he already had the blink, so... And now he's got that kind of kill power with the bash already prepped up. He can lead, blink, hit, corrosive haze, crush. Actually, maybe it's... Maybe you crush, corrosive haze, hit. Either way. It's probably a kill on somebody squishy like this Lina.
Pango are going to try to offset all this bleeding right now that they're doing. Going for smoke. But even taking this bottom area, you're just getting a level 6 Febby whose net worth isn't even that significantly high. The upside for them, though, is by them doing this, there's not a lot of objectives for Mineski to take because they've already taken the tier 2 tower up at top. And you see Febby, he's waiting in the wings here. The roll's going to come in from the Earth Spirit. He's got no idea, though, when the blink in from Ghost Stick.
He does have Fisher and Echo Slam, so they need to be able to kill him quickly. The Earth Spirit ultimate is still on him, so Febby's definitely going to take out here. That Fisher block may be able to be enough to slow down one of these heroes, and sure enough, it's going to be Slayer, who just get popped by that bash to the deep. KP will not be able to find anybody else, it seems, unless he does a wild blink into the trees. That is not the case, so they kill support for support, but again, the Pango are not able to get an objective. But are they really trying to get an objective at this point? It seems like more like they're just trying to force a rotation that allows somebody like the Spectre to get some farm in lane.
I mean, it's pretty important for them to grab this tier 1 tower at bottom. Like, even if you have this late game presence in the Spectre, it's never a good idea to just say, hey, you know what? We're not going to take any towers. That helps us.
Sure. But like realistically, do you think they even could?
No. I think their lineup is just really outmatched pace-wise, at least for this phase of the game.
Yeah.
Sure, when they get later on, it's nicer for the Lina to be able to play, like TA going high ground. She's got some issues, as we saw in the previous series, where Iceberg was absolutely dominating.
But Hanamitis is going to be coming in soon. This is a lineup that is definitely going to hit a big mid-game window for Mineski, but
I think they want to probably Roshan. Once they get the Deso on TA, you're going to like 4-shot that. Then once you get the Rosh, you can probably feel real good about your opportunity to just go for the high ground as Axe, Ghost Stick, gonna run into the Disruptor here, drops his ult on Ninja Boogie, and let's see, oh, that hit, it just does so much. And it even makes it so that Ninja Boogie gets the last hit.
Febby will stack up the Ancients for you. It's so scary in this game, too, if you're the Pango, because there's so much catch now from... You've got the early Blink Dagger of the Slardar, the early Blink Dagger of the TA, and your Rod of Atos for the Razor. Like, if any heroes show up for too long in a lane, they're just going to get hunted down by one of the Mineski cores. We're going to see that here in the river with Iceberg.
They're just pinging towards Rosh now. Is Deso complete? I think so.
It's not quite.
200 gold.
Yeah, still need a little bit more. Febby. Not going to be able to save this bottom tower, though. It looks like Slayer's kind of trying to stick around, see if he can actually make sure the Siege Wagon gets the last hit on the tower, and he does with that stolen Fisher. Very nicely done. Otherwise,
one of
Febby
the
would
best
have denied it.
spells that he could steal too.
Yeah. Especially, we were talking about like how much catch and initiation Mineski has. Being able to instantly cast a long-range stun like that could really help counter Mineski's aggression.
So you've got the Midas completed on KP. He's securing the, let's say, later game.
Yeah.
Not the late game, but the later game.
I mean, Slardar has no farming mechanisms, right? So you got to get something that allows you to get that third and fourth item. Otherwise, you're just always going to stall out.
Radiant are scanning. Regeneration.
And they're going to make this aggressive move into the jungle. Might just find Febby here, who's like 30 odd gold away from his Blink Dagger.
That's rough.
Now he's 200 gold away from his Blink Dagger.
Mineski. If they had maybe a little bit better window, they could have gone straight to Roshan right then. But oh, looks like they're still going to go for it. Thought maybe they were afraid of the Pango rotating in, but I guess with that mid-tier 1 tower, it's pretty hard for the Pango to rotate from bottom lane into this Roshan pit, so.
Probably take the tier 2 tower next as
Hey, and there's your goal for Blink.
Get jumped on here. It's KP with the stun. Gets that ultra hit. The bash of the deep. As it looks like they're pinging for high ground without even grabbing any of the other tier 2 towers. This is how far ahead they think they are.
And they're probably right about that. With an 8,000 net worth lead, Aegis for 4.5 minutes.
I feel like you still go mid. I'd imagine that has to be the play, is to shove out the other 2 lanes. Even if you're this far ahead, you try going high ground and it fails once. All of a sudden you've reset the game, and you really don't want to do that against Spectre lineups.
You want to wait until you have BKB TA before you go high ground, right? Like, you can poke at high ground if the opportunity presents itself. You can force the Pango back, but this is time to take tier 2s first. And maybe hunt down a Spectre if you happen to run into him farming up the jungle. Take that too, sure.
That's going to be a pretty big kill onto Naive, who really is just like all of their hopes and dreams in one basket. He's not even that underfarmed, considering the state of the game and the fact that they only have 1 tower and they haven't won any team fights, but being able to slow down that momentum there as Ghostic looks like he's just going for that Vanguard. I think he thinks the Blade Mail opportunity is a lot better, which I think he's correct in. But this also doesn't really feel like a good Blade Mail when you've only got like 900 HP, you blink and you die in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Managed to get the call. This would be a massive kill if they can get it. But Moon, he immediately jumps on Iceberg. Iceberg's going to throw out all of his damage real quickly on the Slaughter and try and run away from Moon. But unfortunately, there is going to be that 3-man Fisher that came out from Vebi. Moon will be able to pick up 1 core. Now they're going to try and catch a support here in the Earth Spirit. Meanwhile, oh, good hit there.
Well done.
Player, he was dead, but he gets a courier out of it. That was well played.
Getting something out of that situation is so ideal.
Oof. Those are some rough odds. I think that's the first time at this tournament I've seen double digit.
11 is quite high. I don't know if it deserves that. Spectre is still Spectre, as far as I last checked.
But it's a Spectre that's playing again this minus armor lineup. The fact that he's forced to go into Manta as first item, like, Manta on a lot of heroes really accelerates your farm, but on Spectre it is not the greatest. But he kind of has to, right? He's got all this minus armor, he's got the melt minus armor, he's got this corrosive haste he's got to get rid of. Can you, did they ever fix the Manta dodging glimpse?
No idea.
Because I know that was taken out of the game. Unsure if it was intentional or not.
Intended value. We got 16-8. This time around, it's Mineski that's doubling up the Pango score. Both teams are just really aggressive. And I love that. I absolutely love that. "21 minutes in." If you're Spectre, you realistically probably need another 10.
Yeah.
Get the Radiance, and you hold like 1 team fight. I could see Pango winning. Well, I don't see them winning, but I could see like a path to winning. The beginnings.
Do you think he is going to go Radiance with this Manta build?
Like, I don't know how good Diffusal is in this game. I
Yeah.
feel like he just sort of dies. Whereas, like, if he goes Radiance, at least he can disrupt a lot of stuff. Like, he'll burn through refraction charges, he'll stop the Earthshaker from being able to participate in the fight. Ninja Boogie probably just dies. But I don't know. The bigger issue is, like, do you even have enough time to get this Radiance?
40 seconds for the Aegis, and that is just enough time, apparently, for Moon to try and go for a kill on this tier 3 tower and open up the shrines, and that's just going to kill any semblance of map control the Pango once had. They're going to toss back. They're just trying to poke at the TA, prevent him from taking this tower, and see if they can get the Aegis to take out Moon. Is not willing to take that risk. So, as a result, the tier 3 survives, and so do the shrines.
Yeah, without a BKB, I think he is going to be reluctant to just go straight up for that high ground. Plus, if the Pango are really smart, or they do some like crazy play where they take a fight like right then, 2 seconds before Axe Blink calls you, you don't get the full regen, you get popped by his ulti, and all of a sudden, you've got to go through this entire process again.
Yeah. Orchid. Oh, Slayer. He comes out thinking he's going to be able to get some vision down. The rest of the team is going to follow this one up, and there is going to be the Spectre ultimate here. They're going to try and TP out on Febby, but he gets Gold Scepter. Great play from Iceberg with that really long range to be able to stop that TP out. They're going to get both of the supports, and even if they're just supports, honestly, when you're 12,000 net worth behind like this, kill's a kill.
It's going to slow down the momentum too, which is important. Like during this time, Mineski probably don't go for any sort of high ground plays, and the game probably just resets again. But Spectre's still 5 minutes from being 5 minutes away.
Double damage. This could be dangerous. Especially since I see that Spectre farming not too far away. He thinks to himself, maybe I can collect this mid-wave. Yeah, he sees the double damage now. Meanwhile, the only person outside of the map is the Ghostic Axe, who's just kind of like trying to find any farm he can get. He's gonna sneak in some bounty runes, which is a very smart play by him. But it does mean he's not going to be here to defend this tier 3, and it looks like Mineski are really hoping to just commit, finish it off, and back up. But there was still the glyph available for the Pango, so Mineski are going to have to try that one more time if they hope to be able to open up shrines.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're postured up, but no Aegis makes this still a little bit scary. Moon has to be a little bit careful here as he's just going to reset out.
Especially since we went the Orchid instead of the BKB build for...
Yeah, it's one of those things where like you go for that build because, what is it? You have Aegis, right? So you're relying on that as your pseudo BKB in that regard.
I mean, there is still plenty of game left to play for the Pango, but at the same time, there's still plenty of time for Mineski, in simply the fact that they've got a gigantic window. I mean, they're going to be very strong for another easily 15 minutes, if not 20 or 25 with this kind of net worth lead. They can just wait out the second Roshan, pick that one up, get their BKBs, and at that point, Pango are going to need a miracle to be able to hold against that kind of firepower.
The reason why, like, everyone's probably wondering, this game's really slowed down. Mineski was playing so aggressively, but like, you really, really hate playing against Spectre, messing up once, and then having to just like, okay guys, reset up. And if you lose another fight on top of that, all of a sudden, you sort of lost the game. So you're going to take this patiently so that when you do go for the high ground, you can do this in like one fell swoop.
Yeah.
No mess ups. Everything as intended. Most likely you just wait for the Aegis.
Especially since the Radiance is such a critical timer, right? It's like both your team fight item that makes Spectre come online, and it's your farming tool that makes the Spectre start accelerating with her farm.
Yeah, if you're Mineski, you just wait for all the BKBs in the world. So that even when he gets Radiance, it's like it's not this like game-breaking item. So that's why they're also willing to be patient, because they're gonna pick up all these fresh 10-second BKBs.
Yeah.
Like they just got one on their TA and their Slaughter at the same time.
All right, well, that's all your 10-second BKBs that you need.
Just got all of them.
You've got all 3 cores.
3 10-second
Razor's had his
BKBs.
for forever.
Radiant
Now all you do is wait for the Aegis. You get the Aegis, you push down bottom, you take the Shrine, then you go get racks. I think that's how you do it.
No muss, no fuss, no complicated, messy game one. This
No.
could be a very clinical, straightforward game for Mineski, but they can't afford to lose certain heroes, and it looks like they won't. Well, maybe they still will. The follow-up from Ghostic.
Guys, this
Are
isn't...
you even gonna kill
This isn't
Ninja
worth
Boogie?
it.
You're not. Why'd you just commit a core for a 5 position?
Ninja Boogie's like, that was the most worth thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Ninja Boogie's just sitting there thinking to himself like, sure, why not, as KP gonna whiff on the stun, but doesn't really matter. Well, what?
Ninja Boogie was probably laughing about that initiation before he even knew if he was going to survive or not.
He saw the
He's
lead.
probably just like, all right, this is worth
He
it.
just laughed at that as Rubik gonna get stunned up and steals it himself, but dies in 2 seconds with the Amplify on him.
Yeah, and that's the same story for this Earth Spirit who's forking it up.
Okay, and I guess if you just throw your lives away at bottom for that Disruptor, you don't even need to wait for the Aegis.
Yeah.
You just get to go high ground now. That was such a weird sequence of events that we saw happen.
And our Spectre's like, well, shit. I can't get the Radiance. We have to fight them right now. So he's going to go for the Diffuser Blade and just kind of hope this works out. They've already killed the Templar Assassin, so that is massive. Ajit has already stolen every bit of damage away from Ghosting, but Ghosting doesn't even die. He's just trying to get out with his BKB right now. The Pango might just be able to get even more off of it. Echo whiffs! Whiffs! And they're only going to be able to kill the Earth Spirit off of this, but a big hit in from KP. He'll cover Febi's initiation with a better one of his own. They kill the Spectre and save the Razor's life. That was looking a little iffy there for a moment.
And in the end, it doesn't even matter that he whiffs that Echo. It was such a weird thing. It was like a sliding Earth Spirit, and the spec split away from him. I felt so bad for Febi. It looked like it was going to be a situation where he was going to get 2, and instead he gets none.
And now we're going to get the melee Rex.
Has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Okay. Now you just wait for your TA and go Roshan. Your opportunity's even better.
Dire's bottom barracks are under
Rough game.
That Echo. I wish we could see the replay of that. That was so funny. Just like slid on by.
Dude, I'm still remembering that Febi 3-man black hole.
When they all walked in.
What a hype moment.
Dire are
My God,
scanning.
Febi hits the 3-man black hole. Let's look at the replay. Oh, they just walked into him.
They just straight up, not this time, guys. As they're gonna walk into the Roshan pit, as this is a lot of heroes in the pit. I feel like somebody should stay out of here, and I think Ajay realizes, okay, if we all get Axe called, that would be real unfortunate timing, as they have Aegis Cheese now, so Moon, who did die early on. I don't know about
Well,
you.
I don't think that Crimson Guard is going to stop this, all this damage that's going to come out from Mineski. They're going to...
Now you gotta try to
I love how
pump the Razor.
Mineski just keep on taking every single step. They saw the Pango in game 2. They're like, we're going to play like them. Very clean, make sure that every advantage is being held. They're going to 4-man smoke behind Ajit, wrap around here to be able to catch the Pango out, and it starts with a Fissure, and they immediately find the backline. Iceberg almost getting blown up immediately, but does manage to get his Dual Scepter off. Ninja Boogie does cover that with the Static Storm to make sure there's no place in Lina, no buyback either. The Spectre with the Blade Mail trying to get away. The Echo Slam and Moon, all his damage will be enough to finish up that core. No buyback on anybody from the Pango. They have bought out just to try and find a way they can win a fight, but it's not even close. They don't kill a single member of Mineski, getting wiped in the process. That is going to be it. That is GG. Mineski will take the series 2.